Adobe has brought some of the AI technology they have introduced in Photoshop over to Lightroom, Generative Remove AI. Generative Remove is currently available as early access in Lightroom Classic, Lightroom Desktop, Lightroom Mobile, and Camera Raw. In the development module, the Heal panel in Lightroom Classic has been renamed to Remove. To use Generative Remove, you need to be connected to the internet, while the Remove, Clone, and Heal tools work without an internet connection. To get to the new tool, click on the eraser icon in the development module. You have some of the same tools still. The eraser has now been added to the generative AI functionality. If you want to use the eraser tool like before, you can uncheck the generative AI and object aware boxes, and then it will not use the AI technology. So I'm going to check the generative AI checkbox, and we have this landscape here, and you can use the size here to change the size of your brush, or you can use the left and right bracket keys. And in this case, we're just going to take out these cables right here that are holding this sign right here. So I'm going to make the brush a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to draw over that area. Same on the other side. And after that, you're going to get a mask refinement window that lets you either add or subtract from the mask. So in this case, if I want to say subtract a little bit from the mask, I'll click on that, and I'm just going to draw down here, and you can see it's taking away a little bit from that mask. And you can do the same to add more to the mask if you want. And then all you need to do is hit apply, and you see Generative Remove working there, and you get 3 variations. I'm clicking on the variation arrows here. You have the eye right here where you can click the before and the after. So you have your variations here, and if you don't like any of those, you can hit refresh and it will create you 3 more variations. But now I'm going to remove this whole sign. I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to select this whole area a little bit bigger than the outside of the whole sign. And again, I can add more to the selection, and then I can hit apply. My 3 variations right here where it says tool overlay. You see the overlay here where I've made selections before. You can have that on auto. You can have it on never, so if I hover over that area, you won't see the selection. You have different options here for your tool overlay. I just leave it on auto. So the tool overlay helps you to view the pins when you hover over an image. It also controls when to show you the pins of your removed spots and when you hover over the image. Here's another example of what you can use Generative Remove for. This is a location outside of Vegas. It's called 7 Magic Mountains. And right now, I just want to see the art here, and I want to remove these people. So when you're doing this, you might want to not only circle the people, but their shadow. So I'm just going through here real quickly and removing them, getting them and their shadow. Now I'm going to hit apply, and it did a pretty good job. There's the before and there's the after. I'm hitting this eye right here. So it removed all the people. But I want to see where my selection outlines are again. I can hit H and it will show me my points. So there's something also on your panel here called Object Aware. Object Aware lets you detect an object within a brushed area to help you make a precise selection when you want to preserve as many details as possible from the scene. So it's similar to how it works in Photoshop. Checking this box, I'm going to make my brush big enough, and I'm going to click on it. And you can see that it selected all the way around the object. And I'll hit apply. Another way you can use it, depending on the object and how big it is and what's in the scene, but it should select all this, and it did. And I can either refine the mask if I think it needs to be, like sometimes it does not get all of the object in the selection, and then just hit apply. And there's a variation, there's another one, and if I don't like any of these, like it's possible here, I'll hit refresh and you can go through the variations again. In this case, I'm just going to remove this and hit apply, and so this is the one I want. So far we've gone through some examples where now we don't need to go into Photoshop for simple object removal. Well, before you used to have to go into Photoshop for flyaway hairs and things like that. Let's see how object removal in Lightroom does. Let's go this area here. Try to remove this. Try to move a little here. And let's hit apply and see how this goes. Here's the before. Here's the after. It's another variation, and you can do it again if you need to. I think it still does a pretty good job. Well, if you had to go into Photoshop, you would have to add hair strands and it would look more cut off, like the hair was cut off, like we gave her a haircut. But if you do this and take your time, you might get a result that looks natural and not like it's been cloned, and you don't have to add hair strands. I hope you found this video helpful and learned something new. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tutorials on Lightroom Classic. Remember, it's never too late to learn. Thanks for watching.